All right, folks. This supernova, I had a person from our group asking me how I draw trend lines, and I do draw them by hand. What you have to remember is what we like to do when we draw trend lines is we need to connect pivot points, and we usually take in like the extreme highs or the extreme lows, uh, or we, in case we have different patterns like double tops, double bottoms, triple bottoms, head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders, wedges, pennants, or whatever you call them. But and in this video, I'm just gonna run you through my watch list for the upcoming week. Now I have a lot of tickers. I'm gonna be adding a couple more tomorrow. But for now, what I'm seeing is it's very diverse. As I said in the weekend market overview, I've had a lot of tickers that are setting up, and it's absolutely crazy. They're coming from different sectors, and you will see now we have some names that are beaten down, and also I have some names that are top of the list in terms of relative strength. So let me guide you through the different charts, and I think that if you're looking through the entire video and taking some notes, maybe you'll see how I actually draw my trend line. So um, the first one is AWI. This is Armstrong World Industries. I know it's a beaten down name. I've had it right here. Like I was thinking that it might go over this double top. It did not. It fell through with the market. Now it made a sort of a double bottom right here. And as you can see, right now, this is on a daily chart. We're not going to be looking at any intraday chart, so only daily charts right here. If you're looking at this is like a double bottom type of a basic formation. We actually closed on Friday above this trend line that is like a 1, 2, almost 3, 4 touch trend line. We closed above it. Volume was not as elevated as I would like it to be, but this is definitely something that I'll be keeping an eye on for next week. So moving on, AVNS. This is another beaten down name, and you will see there's a lot of names that are setting up like this. This is not one of my perfect, not my perfect examples right here, but this is like 10% in 4 days. Then during this week, it was consolidating, basically building this flag. If you see, and if we break through here, I think that the next obvious point of resistance is right around these areas right here. So there is still quite a lot of space to move. Remember, it's only $4, but this is $28. So $4 is more than 10% move. Let's just go to the next one. So this was AVNS. This is COLL, and right here you can see the ticker. Right here in the upper left corner, you can see the ticker. Pretty much the same thing. Beaten down name. Report earnings that are better, although they're minus, but there's like minus 6.73. Then we have minus 0.39. It makes a bottom before the market moves higher, consolidates. This is a beautiful shakeout candle right here. Definitely support right here, and if we can break above this zone, then we're looking for a fast zone right around here. So this again, this is like $16. We're looking for something to $20. That's again more than 10% move. OLN, this one actually moved from my I basically had an alert right here. It went off. I didn't go for it because of one reason only. And as you can see, if we're drawing a trend line, you want the trend line for a breakout to be either sideways or sloping. So you don't want, this is sloping to the upward. You don't want to see that. So basically, when we're breaking out, you can see even the bottom trend line is sloping up, but you don't want to see the upper side of the trend line sloping upwards as well. You don't want, so basically this is going to be like a rising channel, and rising channels are not good for breaking out breakouts to the upside. Now, granted, we had the wind on our backs with the market, so this one was it's a very strong. This is the oil and gas industry groups, so it's a very strong industry groups, definitely higher res. We also had like breakout volume was above average right here, you can see. So this might work. I have it here on my radar screen, looking for it, but I don't think I want to be trading this. Anyway, I have it. MCK, another name. I tried to short it a couple of times, but it's still resilient. So as you can see, this two-touch trend line, if it's broken to the upside with enough volume, and I think this is tradable. Really good action on Friday, although the market was making a very higher high. This one actually remained as an inside bar, so I like how it's tightened up. And as you can see, like I have like multiple lines right here. If we clear that a little bit, clear drawing set, if we clear that a little bit, what is actually important to see right here is that we only have this one to look for, this trend line right here. So from this trend line to this trend line, and what I like to see here is extend to the right, and then beautiful thing in Thinkorswim crosses above. You create an alert, it comes to your phone, comes to your email. It's also a failed head and shoulders, as you can see right here. We had the left shoulder, the head. Come on, maybe. No, okay, it doesn't. Okay, let's pick it up. And then the right shoulder right here with this bar on Thursday, you see it's going above the left shoulder. This is a failed head and shoulder pattern. Next one I have, like, it's DTM. Again, pretty much the same thing. Three-touch trend line right here between these three pivots, and if we can break right here, am I participating? You see volume picking up right here on Friday, so this is another clue. This one might work out well. CCS, I'm getting a little creative here. You can see a 3/4 actually touch trend line. I think we closed just above it. On Thursday, if we see some volume pushing through, we can definitely play. I like how this is making a triangle right here off the bottom. Of course, not my favorite setup, but I'm just trying to show you that there's so many setups right now that they're working. SPB, Spectrum Brands, you see like 1, 2, almost 3 touch trend line right here. This is setting up. Volume is not picking up here on Friday, so this is one to still consider, but this bottoming formation right here is good. It was pretty much held, as you can see right here, only a couple of days shakeout right here, and now we're moving back up. Another one that I have for you, this one is not one of my favorite, but it's the same thing. You can see it's bottoming formation, like the tops are holding or making lower highs, but not by so much, and the bottom is raising right now. So this is calling for a breakout to the upside, and as you can see, volume here is extremely positive. So we might see a quick spike, and see the last time we spiked here on earnings, we went to 470. High is 473, 474. So this is pretty much like 20% higher. NFG, this one is a strong name, definitely natural fuel gas. I like the formation, although I don't like how wide this is, but I still have it here. I keep it on my radar. Anything gas related, I have it. FMAO, this is another one formation. It's tightening up right here. So if we break this trend, I actually think we broke this trend line. No, we still haven't broken this trend line. I didn't even draw here, but if we break this trend line right here, sloping trend line with higher lows at the bottom, and see some volume coming in right here, that's definitely tradable. I also have PBA, the same thing, although this is, as I said, wedging up. I don't really like wedging up for breakouts, because let me see if I can, yeah, so see in terms of, see, like this creates some form of resistance right here, so it's like an upwards channel, and this is close to the channel, so this is usually resistance, so I don't really like it in that formation, but I still have it here. LQU, I have it, you can see downward sloping resistance line. This is what I like for breakouts to the upside. We had one right here created between those, we gapped over it, used the support. Now we're basically into the upper channel. If we can clear this, I think that we can definitely see 56, 57, which is still again 10% higher. Have OC, pretty much same thing, and you can, I think you can gauge by now how am I just drawing those trend lines. It's like OC, we have Dow, same thing right here. There's one trend line up, this bar right here, there's one for it, this one. We've already cleared the lower one, but the higher one still remains. Arch, that's one of my favorite tickers right now. Coal, the only thing that I don't like, as I said, you can see this is sloping to the upside, and this is natural resistance right here. This is GOGL. This is one of my favorite right now. Extremely tight right here. This high has this. Actually, I'm using the body of this candle because otherwise I'm going to get too extended. I might poke some right here, and if we broke above the 16.4 zone, I'm going to buy some more. Another one, ALGN. Now this is a beaten down stock, but this formation at the bottom is super, super constructive. As you can see right here, what I see, this is a classic VCP. If you're familiar with Mark Minervini's style and techniques, this is classic VCP. As you see, volume is coming down. This is starting in terms of volatility, and I really like this to the upside. First obvious target, of course, is the highs right here, 310. We might see some resistance there, and then we have a gap, and gaps are usually filled around 75%. I think was the statistics, but it doesn't really matter. So this is about 350, 360 zone right here. So quite a substantial potential move to the upside. GNK definitely, Genko shipping, as I said. In the market overview video, GNK is one of my favorites in terms of shipping stocks. I liked ZIM, but ZIM has been crushed down. GNK is actually holding pretty well. See this little tightening formation right here. If it crosses this zone, I'm definitely in it. Bungie, same thing right here. You can see downward sloping trend line. This is head and shoulders formation. So we have, let me just draw it for you. We have the left shoulder, come on, snap. That's why it's not working, because it's on snap mode, but it doesn't matter. Left shoulder, head, and then we have the right shoulder right here. So if we break above the right shoulder, this is a head and shoulders failure, and we usually go for the head. Then I have CB, job limited, same thing, 1. Okay, so 2, 3, 4 times now we broke this. If it can continue on momentum, it's like high volume, I might get some stop loss pretty tight right here. As you can see this formation, and then we're aiming for the highs. GNG is a good formation as well. See, moved up, tightening right here. See volume coming in through this trend line. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth one is a break of this trend line. NLC, very strong stock, move up and then tightening up pretty well. If we can move above this zone right here, 477, 478, definitely a buy. WLK, another three touch trend line. So we have it right here with 1, 2, 3. If we can break it, beautiful bottom right here. We're holding the bottoms. REGN, this is another one, pretty same formation. This is like a V-shaped recovery. I would definitely, if this breaks right here on high volume, I'll be placing my stops around right here, keeping it pretty tight. TDW, rocketed off these 20 levels, now 27, 28. If we can break this high, I might get into some very tight stop there. IPGP, this is not my favorite, but I just have it here. Pretty much same thing. You see bottom is going up. We have a flat resistance zone on the top, and that creates some compression. As you can see, volume is dropping right here. That creates some compression, some squeezing. And if we can just blast off, you can see this is a 102. We've been to 117 during earnings, and then next off the zone is right here, 170, 120. IP, just gorgeous. Off the bottoms, up. Tightening right here, couple of trend lines. If we can break through this, I'll be waiting for this on the 50. 50 is a pretty damn good number. As you can see right here, we had a very interesting resistance bar right here on elevated volume. So I'll be waiting to clear that 50 zone before I actually get into this one. Coupa Software, this I really like from the bottom. As you can see, we jumped off right here, and this looks, yes, like a beaten down name. It is beaten down name. Right here, I like the compression that is forming, and if you measure that, I know it's like 58. What you're talking about? This one is right now at 27%. And next obvious resistance, let me just clear that. Next obvious resistance from this place is right around here, which is another 16% to the upside. I think this one is setting up very, very, very nicely. Let's just go CMP, being a little bit creative. This is like a fish hook pattern, three-touch trend line. If we see some volume coming in right here from this side, this one is just a void zone. I mean, it's a very fast drop on earnings. Might be an overreaction to earnings. I'm not really into fundamentals that much, but you can see next obvious zone is right around here, 58, 60 zone, and we're not talking about 45 to 68. That's like, what is it, 30, 40% upside movement. CCRN, same thing. Beaten down name, made a move up. This week is just consolidating. Volume is coming down. Classic VCP. If it can move up to the upside, I think we're still seeing some 15 to 20% upside movement. CNF financials. As I said during some of the chats in Discord last week, I think financials are bottoming. CNF, classic example right here. It's forming again a VCP. It actually broke out. The next obvious level is right here, 136, 140. Wix, maker of websites, as you know, same thing like most of the beaten down stocks, tightening up right here. If we can move through this zone, and here's one of my favorite, CHGG. Now I know how it sounds, I know it's ridiculous, but look at the pattern. Moved up, tightening right here, volume slowing down. If this can move up, I think this is $20 stock. 25 is definitely gap fill right here. I think it's really, really into the areas of the possibilities. QB, same thing, downward sloping. We have a trend right here. It's broken the first downward sloping resistance. Now it's aiming for the second one, which is at 45. And if we can move through there, I'm thinking 65. It's an area. GFF, this is one of my favorite. Is again pretty much looks the same as TDW as we looked prior. You can just break to the upside. I'm not going to use the full stop right here, 29.02. I'm going to basically use a dollar stop. New York, another one beaten down name. Again, VCP right here. It's sloping to the upside, so it's not one of my favorites, but anyway. Here are the top ones that I see. VAL, I have a standing actually order. If we break this, I think it's 60, 90 something. If we break this, I'm just going to buy straight ahead. I mean, just this one looks gorgeous. It's a very high relative strength industry group. I also like NOC. We went over that. I like GLNG. This is gas. And pretty much the same thing as NFG. This one's setting up. It had the earnings right here, so huge volatility. But if it can break this high right here, I'm going in. Also, I want to bring your attention to a couple of recent IPO names. This one as well, you see it's broken through the downward resistance. I think it might be a good buy. SDGR, see how it's beautifully trying to shake out the slow and move to the upside. Now remember, in a market like the one that we had prior to the last 3 days, most of the IPOs and most of the newer stocks that are weaker stocks are naturally going to get beaten down. But also remember that if the market is trying to turn around and people are starting to see value in stocks and equities again, they're going to be looking for new places to put their stocks in. And some of these IPOs are going to be the next leader. So I'm keeping an eye on some, formations that might work. This one, definitely not one of my favorites. Also, it's a pharma name, but it's also an interesting read on how to draw this trend line. So we had one trend line right here. We moved above it. Now we're forming another trend line below those highs. If we can break it, this is actually playable. Napa, this one has earnings, but also if it can move above this trend line right here, and probably it's going to happen on earnings if it moves, so it's not going to be easy to catch. KRTX, this one moved actually on Friday. I was eyeing an entry on that, but I missed it. But on huge volume, it moved out, and then it was rejected, so it moved down, but also keeping an eye on it. JAMF, this one is actually one that I really like. You can see like a mini triangle right here forming. If it can move here, volume coming in, we have good potential to make like quick 15 to 20% to this zone of 31, 32. Right now it's at 26. AIS, this one moved a little bit, but volume is still not enough. I'm looking at it. FORG, this one moved really nice on Friday, pretty much with the market. I had an order, it didn't get filled right here with the break of this trend line. But oh well, sometimes it happens, you know, brokers. This one is also a recent IPO, ESMT. Trying to break out of this lower trend line, and if we can do that, then we're going to aim for the higher trend line up there. It's actually what is really positive here. Sorry, what is really positive here is look at the volume. Look at how volume is coming up. So this one actually might work really well. And just two more guys, and I'm gonna let you go. This one broke the trend line on Friday. I'm looking for a gap fill right here. So this is still $2 above, and it's a $16 stock. So that's more than 10%. Last but not least, CMBM. This one moved above, but it's still actionable, I think, in this zone right here for a move to $16, $17. So this is what I have right now. I'm gonna add a couple more to the list, and I'm gonna post them in Discord as usual. So I'll see you guys in our service in Discord, and see you next time. Bye bye.